Due to the overwhelmingly positive feedback I have received on my MGS3 video, and based on results of the poll I ran on my channel, I will be showcasing how we can remaster Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty with mods, using the Master Collection Edition, which is just the HD collection in disguise. Once again, if you want to skip my port rant, I encourage you to use the chapters to navigate to the section of your choosing, otherwise feel free to stick around for the rant. All of the links, as always, will be provided in the description. There certainly aren't as many mods for Metal Gear Solid 2 as there are for free, but I must say I am overall very pleased with the results in this game. The mods available right now do actually make the game feel like a proper remaster, and they do make a huge difference. Small disclaimer before I get into my rant. Once again, the credit goes out to all of the modders working hard to implement these fixes and changes that Konami didn't bother to do. Please show them some love and support via Nexus mods. I should also preface that the majority of the footage in this video will be taken from my own modded version of the game. Any footage that is not my own will be credited appropriately. I should also mention that if you have a low spec machine, you should keep in mind these mods will not improve your frame rate, as they are aimed at higher spec systems and are used to enhance the visual fidelity. If you have a low spec machine, I would hold out for the time being until some sort of low spec mod is made available by the modders. I initially looked at Metal Gear Solid 3 as it was my favourite out of the entire series. I held it in extreme high regard, and in all honesty it still holds up really well to this day, to say the least. However, Metal Gear Solid 2 would be a close second. I spent a lot of time playing this game as a kid, however not as much as Free or Peace Walker. A lot of mods currently available on Nexus mods primarily target Metal Gear Solid 3, however the Sons of Liberty have not been overlooked, though, as there are a few nice tweaks and fixes that are backwards compatible with Metal Gear Solid 2, and some even have their own versions created specifically for Metal Gear Solid 2. That being said, MGS2 still has far fewer mods by comparison to MGS3, I bet probably because it's the fan favourite, so I would just give it time, however, as modders are actively releasing new stuff for this game. With all of this being said though, Metal Gear Solid 2 suffers from the same problems as MGS3. No resolution options, no volume controls, you're just stuck with the default shitty 720p resolution from what I could gather, and your stock volume mixer and nothing else. Let's all clap for Konami, guys. I cannot see any issues with anisotropic filtering like MGS3 though, but on one of our key mods on the list, it will force ×16 anisotropic filtering anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue. Digital Foundry has mentioned that the anti-aliasing on consoles is slightly skewed in the PS5's favour. It should not be an issue on PC, as we are ideally going to be going beyond 1080p 2K resolutions, which should alleviate this problem entirely. That of course all depends on how you want to configure your, MGSHDFIX and upscale your resolution. This game, akin to Metal Gear Solid 3, comes with a handy launcher that more or less comes with the same features as the launcher for free, so there's not a whole lot to touch down upon here. With all this being said, I don't believe MGS2 has it as bad as MGS3, as we will not require a reshade to change the color grading, as the colors appear as they looked in the HD collection. Additionally, I don't believe there are as many missing cutscene effects in this game as there were in MGS3, so there is that, at least not from what I could tell. First and foremost, we'll be using MGSHDFIX just like we did in MGS3. This is going to be our bread and butter and will allow us to use custom resolutions once again, enable borderless full screen, force anisotropic filtering and more. So you'll want to download this version first and foremost. Just take a look at how gorgeous and downright stunning this game looks, rendering internally at 4K with upscaled textures. This alone almost entirely makes it look like a remaster, but it gets better from here on out. MGS2 Upscaled Textures, Solid SLOP AI Edition. This mod is the staple of our sandwich. It is the luscious ham, salad, or whatever topping you can imagine. It once again comes in a ×2 and ×4 variant with mip-maps. I highly recommend the ×4 variant for maximum visual fidelity. Additionally, I also recommend the OG water effects, which come with this mod as stated by the author. Some of the water effects are large when upscaled, and this fixes just that. Undeniably, this mod is doing bits and it shows. Some textures can still appear slightly low res, but it's certainly nothing to scoff at, as the character models, objects, and everything in between look incredibly well. Essentially what you would expect from, a remaster if Konami had actually done things right. I'll showcase a few screenshots so that you can see the added detail for yourselves. It is also worth noting that this mod also affects certain UI elements and PNGs via the upscale. Now, just as with MGS3, I slapped on some UI mods which add what you would expect from a remaster, such as a proper Master Collection title screen and loading icon, alongside a Konami 2023 copyright text. You can't really go wrong with those. Now, with the two big main mods out of the way, everything that follows is entirely optional and now not really mandatory, but I do recommend it anyway. MGS2 already holds up really well visually, and there is no need for a reshade this time as touched upon previously. These mods will tweak a few small details and help out with overall clarity in areas which the texture upscale might have missed. Higher resolution Kojima Production posters, which does primarily as it says and upscales the Kojima Production posters all over the game. Better boxes will improve the quality of the cardboard boxes found throughout the game. And HD Sons of Liberty flag is a HD Sons of Liberty flag, just as the mod says, so I do highly recommend picking all three of these mods up, as they'll just enhance the visual clarity of the game just that tiny little bit more. Now, this more or less concludes the video. Above I have outlined my mod list for what I would deem to be a remaster of Metal Gear Solid 2. I do think that with all these mods in place, the game looks absolutely gorgeous and clean. Running just at 4K with the texture upscale alone makes a significant difference, as the game looks extremely clean. I would once again like to thank all of the modders for putting in hard work into this. Mods, no matter how big or small, deserve recognition, so thank you to all the modders for the hard work, and thanks to everyone for watching the video and supporting my videos. Stay tuned for any more updates on MGS, as well as mods and other video game content.